Hallelujah. To the Most High makes us strong. When we trust in Yah, how can our life go wrong? Children sang the song. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Give thanks to the Most High makes us strong. When we trust in Yah, how can our life go wrong? Children sang the song. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. All praises due to Him. Who is who he is, came down from out of heaven to make us his kids. Now this is serious business. And Abraham was his friend. He was considered a prince. Genesis 15:13, 400 years of slavery. True prophecy, what other people couldn't be. Had the babies in the cotton field, had murdered, but still here, murdered by the cops. So much violence on our block. Part of our prophecy, Deuteronomy 28. My people let it marinate, prophecy, reality. Scholars wanna battle me, we need not fight. I just recite what I comprehend. Can I live? Breaking bread with my nation, eating spoken word melodies we travel on. Surviving in Babylon, the Father we waiting on. May the judge soon come, set the record straight. Thanks to the Most High makes us strong. When we trust in Yah, how can our life go wrong? Children sang the song. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Give thanks to the Most High makes us strong. When we trust in Yah, how can our life go wrong? Children sang the song. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. The greatest artist alive, Yahuwah, who you thought it was from his throne above, made us from the dust, stop the arrogance. We just flesh and blood, sketched out in the image of such. And it's too much when some men in the back in touch. I was one for sure, had to get down low, put my face in the dirt. It's what the Father deserves, who gives power to the powers, rain to the flowers, turn crops to powder. I recognize who my maker is, and it's chosen all my relatives. Shout out to the moon rays who teaching the right thing. Together we all sing hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah, make it tough a lot. Round around the clock till our bodies stop. Ain't no stopping us, we too serious. He reviving us, we his chosen ones. He reviving us, no disguising us. This is marvelous, the resurrection of a dead nation. Give thanks to the Most High makes us strong. When we trust in Yah, how can our life go wrong? Children sang the song. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Give thanks to the Most High makes us strong. When we trust in Yah, how can our life go wrong? Children sang the song. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters all over the world. I'm Yahweh, being Israel. I want to give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh by saying hallelujah, Shabbat shalom. And I want to talk about today's topic. I'm going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Yahweh loves Moses and David and Abraham. So now I want to start off in the book. Let's see, Second Chronicles. Let's go to Second Chronicles. Okay. Second Chronicles chapter 20, verse 6 and 7.
Second Chronicles chapter 20, verse 6. And said, O Yahweh, Elohim of our fathers, art not thou Elohim in heaven?
Yes, he is.
And rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen?
He rule over everybody. That's right.
And in thy hand is there not power and might?
And he got all the power and the might.
So that none is able to withstand thee.
That's right. Can't nobody stand before Yah. Read.
Art not thou our Elohim, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel?
That's right.
And gavest it to the seed of Abraham thy friend forever?
Thy friend for Abraham. He said Abraham is his friend forever. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 41. Isaiah 41. I'm proving that the Almighty has Abraham was his friend, and nobody in the New Testament was his friend at all. If you can show me where Yahweh was anybody's friend in the New Testament, I'll send you 500. Okay, so Isaiah 41 and 8 and 9.
Isaiah chapter 41, verse 8. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend.
His friend. Abraham is Yahweh's friend. That's right. Read.
Thou, whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away.
And not cast thee away. Okay, now that's Abraham. I showed prove you on the shadow of doubt that Yahweh was Abraham's friend, and I want y'all to show me in the New Testament where J.C., Paul, Peter, Luke, anybody was Yahweh's friend, and you'll get 500. Now I'm gonna get more. Let's talk about Moses. Let's go to Exodus chapter 3. Exodus chapter 3. Okay, I'm gonna start at the third verse, 3 through 8. Yeah, 3 and 3.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 3. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when Yahweh saw that he turned aside to see, Elohim called unto him out of the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I.
Now Yahweh is talking to Moses. Read.
And he said, Draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
Now the Almighty Yahweh told Moses to take his shoes off because you're standing on holy ground. He got a relationship with this man. He talking to this man like I'm talking to y'all now. Read.
Moreover, he said, I am the Elohim of thy father, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, and for he was afraid to look upon Elohim.
That's right. You're supposed to be afraid to look at the Most High because he powerful and mighty. That's right. He had respect. That's what you call respect for Yah. Read.
And Yahweh said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt.
Just like he see the affliction of us in the United States, he see the affliction of them. Same thing. He see the affliction of what's going on in the United States with these heathen doing to the Hebrews. Read.
And have heard their cry by reason of their taxmasters.
And then when we cry to the Most High, he hear you. Read.
For I know their sorrows.
And he know what we going through. He know the pain and suffering that we going through. Just like he knew in Egypt, he know in America. Read.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
And he going to deliver us out of the United States. Just like he did it then, he going to do it again.
And to bring them up out of that land unto a good land.
And we going back to Jerusalem, which is the good land. Mount Sinai, Mount Zion.
And a large unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
With milk and honey.
Unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites.
Okay, now let's go to Exodus 4 and 10. Start at 10 through 16. Yeah.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 10. And Moses said unto Yahweh,
Moses talking to Yahweh. I ain't never heard nobody in the New Testament talk to Yah at all. Read.
O my Yahweh, I am not eloquent.
That mean I can't speak good. I stutter when I talk. Read.
Neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue.
Now Moses couldn't speak that well. He stuttered when he talked, and he hesitated when he talked. He had a speech problem. Read.
And Yahweh said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth?
Now Almighty told Moses, Yahweh told Moses, I made your mouth. I made a man's mouth. Read.
Or who maketh the dumb,
I make the dumb people. So when they born dumb, I done that. Y'all say he make the dumb.
or deaf,
Deaf when you can't hear, that's him. He made your ears. You can't hear.
or the seeing,
Hey, I make you where you can't see. Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles and whoever else out there that can't see. I'm the one that caused you to be blind. Read.
or the blind?
That's right. Or the blind.
Have not I, Yahweh?
Yahweh say I do it all. I'm the one caused you to be dumb, retarded, or whatever. Born with no legs, no arms, no born with no ears, or born however you born, deformed, albinos, however you come out the womb. I done it. Most I say he did it. Read.
Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth,
He told Moses to go. I'm gonna be with your mouth.
and teach thee what thou shalt say.
And Yahweh gonna teach Moses what to say. Did he ever teach J.C. Paul or Peter what to say? No.
And he said, O my Yahweh, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well.
He can pop corn. Well, I know Aaron can pop it. Read.
And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
That's right. He gonna teach it. See, he taught Moses what he was his, because that was his right hand man. He loved Moses. He had a relationship with Moses. He didn't love nobody in the New Testament. He didn't have no relationship with nobody in the New Testament. Period. If you can prove that, you get paid. Read.
And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people,
Now Aaron gonna be the spokesman to the people.
and he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of Elohim.
Okay. Now let's go to Exodus 7. Exodus chapter 7. Start at the first verse. Still proving that the Almighty loved Moses.
Exodus chapter 7, verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a deity to, or Elohim to Pharaoh.
Now he made this man a god. He made, look, the Almighty Yahweh made Moses a god unto Pharaoh. Boy, that's cold blooded. Read.
And Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet.
And I'm gonna make him a prophet. Boy, that's cold blooded. Read.
Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land.
That's right.
And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs.
See, he harden your heart. He can harden the white folks' heart. He can harden anybody's heart. So if somebody misuse you, the Almighty harden their heart. Read.
And my wonders in the land of Egypt.
Because he need to get his point across. He gonna make his point be known. That's really harden Pharaoh's heart. Read.
But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you,
He ain't gonna listen to you now. He gonna be rebellious.
that I may lay my hand upon Egypt,
And boy, he gonna break it off and Egypt gonna plague Egypt.
and bring forth my armies and my people of the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by great
Now,
judgments.
great judgment, because he gonna part the Red Sea, gonna turn the sea red, gonna bring flies and frogs and all kind of animals up on Egypt. Read.
And the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh,
That's right. They're gonna know that that's Yah, not JC, Haddas, Labs, or Yahshua, because they don't even exist. Read.
when I stretch forth my hand upon Egypt,
That's right.
and bring out the children of Israel
He,
from among them.
he gonna stretch out his hand above the United States and gonna bring us out the same way. Read.
And Moses and Aaron did as Yahweh commanded them.
That's right, because they wasn't hard-headed like these people today. They don't do nothing that Yahweh say do. He never told you to go to church. He never told you to be baptized. He never told you to wear a cross. He never wanted no offering and tithe from nobody. Read.
So did they. And Moses was 80 old, and Aaron 83 old, when they spake unto Pharaoh.
84. One of them was 84, and one of them was 83. 80. Okay. Three
And,
score old. Okay, 80 years old. Yeah, Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 years old. Okay. Okay, that's it on that. Let's go to Exodus 8 and 20. Still proving that the Almighty had a relationship with Moses and he loved Moses.
Exodus chapter 8, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahweh, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are.
It's gonna be everywhere. Flies gonna be all over. Everywhere you look, there's gonna be a fly.
And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen,
He gonna separate Goshen from who?
in which my people dwell.
See, well, ain't gonna be no flies in Goshen where the Hebrew Israelites were. Ain't gonna be no flies there. It's gonna be everywhere but in Goshen, and that's where we dwelt there when we was in Egypt, in the land of Goshen. Read.
That no swarms of flies shall be there,
That's what I just said.
to the end thou mayest know that I am Yahweh in the midst of the
In
earth.
the midst of the earth. Read.
And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be.
And that's right.
And Yahweh did so. And there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies.
And the Almighty did what he had to do to him. Okay, let's go to Exodus 9. 9 and 1.
Exodus chapter 9, verse 1. Then Yahweh said to Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus said Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and will hold them still, behold, the hand of Yahweh is upon thy cattle which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain.
Moraine, that's right. Complaining and upset. Read.
And Yahweh shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt.
He gonna make a difference between the cattle, the Egyptians and the Hebrew. He gonna make a difference in that. Read.
And there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel.
Ain't none of that we own gonna die, but everything else, the Egyptians gonna die. The Almighty makes a difference. Read.
And Yahweh appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow Yahweh shall do this thing in the land.
He gonna do it tomorrow. Read.
And Yahweh did that thing on the morrow,
Did just like he said the next day.
and all the cattle of Egypt died,
All the cattle died of the Egyptians.
but of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one.
Did now one of the cows of the Hebrews, the children of Israel, die? That means the Almighty make a difference, boy. That's right. Read.
And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead.
Not one, he said.
And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go.
He still had a bad heart. I mean, a heart, a stone. Well, man, I don't care nothing about the. I'm still ain't gonna let you go. Read.
And Yahweh said unto Moses and unto Aaron, Take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast throughout all the land of Egypt.
Okay, now let's skip on down to 13.
Verse 13. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus said Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth.
Ain't nobody like Yahweh in all the earth.
For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth.
That's right, gonna get rid of all of them. Read.
And very deed for this cause have I raised thee up.
He told Moses, this is the reason why I raised you up, Moses. He raised Moses up for this. Read.
For to show in thee my power.
Almost showed the power through Moses. He had to love him to do that, to show his power through Moses. He did love him. Read.
And that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
And boy, you gonna tell everybody about Yah. I'm gonna raise you up to do this. That's what he did with Moses. Moses was put on earth to show, to work his miracles through Moses. Bad man, that got to be number love right there. Is that 16?
Yeah.
Okay, go to Exodus chapter 11, verse 5.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 5. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt.
Cause boy, when everybody start dying, boy, yeah, you're gonna cry. You're gonna be sad, pitiful, right?
Such as there was none like it.
Ain't gonna never be a day like this before, and it ain't been a day like that before. Read.
Nor shall be like it any more.
Ain't gonna be nothing like this no more.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
Saying a dog ain't gonna move his tongue
Against man or beast.
He ain't gonna do nothing to the man or the beast.
That ye may know how that Yahweh do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
What? He make a difference. Yahweh man say, boy, you got to read that again, because that's calm right there. I make a difference. Boy, I love Israel, especially when they do right.
That ye may know how that Yahweh do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
That's right. He make a difference between the Israelites and the Egyptians. Okay, Exodus 14. Exodus 14, chapter 10. I mean, verse 10.
Exodus chapter 14.
Yeah, verse 10.
Verse 10. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid.
Yeah, we were afraid running from the Egyptians. Read.
And the children of Israel cried out unto Yahweh.
And boy, we always gonna cry to Yah when we get in trouble. But as long as we doing everything else, feeling good and getting high and whatever else, you ain't calling up on Yah then. We always gonna call up on Yah when we get in trouble. That's Israel for you. Read.
And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the
See how
wilderness?
smart they mouth is? They talking real slick. And they're ridiculing Moses. Now they mad. Read.
Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness.
See these niggas, they ready to serve the same thing they gonna do in that. Where we rather stay in the United States and serve the white man than to follow Yah, than to be with Yah. That's how stupid these niggas is. Read.
And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of Yahweh,
Watch what Yahweh finna show you, fool.
which he will show to you today.
He gonna have to show you, right? Because they don't believe fat meat grease.
For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever.
After the day, you ain't gonna see them no more forever.
Yahweh shall fight for you,
That read.
and ye shall hold your peace.
That's right, Almighty. Just be patient. We ain't got no patience. We always want right now, right now. You gotta have patience.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me?
Why are you crying to me?
Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen, and the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh.
That's right. They're gonna know that he Yahweh. He gonna cut them fake gods alone.
When I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen.
Okay, now let's go to 14 and 29. I think still on that to 29 and 31. Yeah.
Verse 29. But the children of Israel walked upon dry ground, excuse me, walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea.
Can you imagine walking on dry land in the midst of the sea out of the Almighty and part? It wasn't no mud, it was dry.
And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left.
And they looking at the wall, looking at the walls of the sea.
Thus Yahweh saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Just like he'll save you today out of the hand of the Christians and all these other clowns. If you serve Yah, he gonna protect you.
And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore.
He's seen them dead. First they didn't have no faith, but when they saw this, they had faith.
And Israel saw that great work which Yahweh did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared Yahweh and believed Yahweh and his servant Moses.
And now when they get to the United States, they hollering about JC. Why you hollering about JC and he ain't did nothing? Yahweh showed you way back then and showing you now that I do it all, that did everything, but you gonna call up on somebody else God. You got to be the biggest fool in town. Okay, what was that for? Okay, let's go to Exodus 19. 19, 3 and 6. 3 through 6, yeah.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 3. And Moses went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians,
That's right.
and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
Yeah, say if you do, but we didn't do it. We always violate and mess up. We ain't gonna do right. Read.
For all the earth is mine.
That's right. Everything belongs to Yah.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
But what we didn't do right. Okay. Let's go to let's see, Exodus 33, I think. Yeah. Exodus 33. Start at the 16. 16 to 23. Yeah.
Exodus chapter 33, verse 16. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
Well, separated, cause we got a we got a different lifestyle than other people. That's really supposed to be separated. Cause our people so bamboos and hoodwick and brain. While they see somebody doing something, we gonna go and do what they do instead of to stand on the page with Yah. Read.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name.
Almighty said, I know thee by name.
And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yahweh before thee.
That's right.
And will be gracious to whom I will be gracious.
Now the Almighty show favor to who He want to show favor to. You can't tell Him what to do. He do what He want to do. Read.
And will show mercy on whom I will show mercy.
And if I want to have mercy on any man, that's my prerogative. That's His business. Yahweh do what He want to do.
And he said, Thou canst not see my face,
He told Moses, you can't see my face.
for there shall no man see me and live.
So nobody see Yahweh's face and live. No man, not even Moses. And he loved Moses. Read.
And Yahweh said, Behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock.
Told him to stand up on the rock.
And it shall come to pass,
and it shall come to pass,
while my glory passeth by,
while my glory pass by thee, Moses,
that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock,
I'm going to put you in the cliff of the rock.
and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by.
I'm going to cover thee with my hand while I pass by.
And I will take away my hand,
And when I take away my hand,
and thou shalt see my back parts,
then you can see the back of me, Moses.
but my face shall not be seen.
But I ain't going to let you see my face, Moses. There you go. Now, he had to love Moses for him to do that to him. Now, what other man in the New Testament did they have this kind of relationship with in the New Testament? Nobody. Nobody. Okay, let's go to 2 Chronicles 30 and 16. Second Chronicles 30 and 16.
2 Chronicles chapter 30 verse 16. And they stood in their place after their manner, according to the law of Moses, the man of Elohim.
He was a man of Elohim.
The priests sprinkled the blood, which they received of the hand of the Levites.
Yeah, he was. That's right. He was a man of Elohim. Moses was. Okay, now I'm gonna get off Moses. I done proved beyond a shadow of doubt that the Almighty had a good relationship with him, and that was his right hand man. And he loved Moses. Now let's talk about David. Let's see. Let's go to 1 Samuel 13. Now I'm gonna show you the kind of relationship that he had with King David. What I say? 1 Samuel 13. 13. Okay. Yeah, 13 and 14.
1 Samuel chapter 13 verse 14.
No, verse 13 and 14. Start 13.
Oh, verse 13. Okay. And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of Yahweh thy Elohim.
Anytime you don't keep the commandments of Yah, you's a fool. You foolishly. That's what the book just said. So anybody that's out there is not keeping this commandment, you're a fool. Read.
Which he commanded thee.
And that's what he commanded us to do. Keep his commandments, fool.
For now would Yahweh have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever.
I would have gave you the kingdom forever if you'd have kept my commandments, fool. That's what he told Saul. Read.
But now thy kingdom shall not continue.
I'm going to stop your kingdom.
Yahweh have sought him a man after his own heart.
Now, the Almighty said, I'm looking for a man that got a heart just like mine. And guess who that man is? King David. Read.
And Yahweh have commanded him to be captain over his people.
Captain over his people.
Because thou hast not kept that which Yahweh commanded thee.
Because you ain't did right by Yah. Okay, go to 1 Samuel 16. Now show me in the New Testament where any man had a heart like the Most High's. Nobody. Not even JC, because he didn't even know him. But y'all know him, but y'all don't know him. I don't know him. Moses don't know him. Okay then. What I say, 16? Start at the first verse.
1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Samuel, How long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel?
Got rid of him. Almighty got rid of Saul.
Fill thine horn with oil, and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons.
Now he told Samuel, to go and to Jesse, because I got one of his sons that I want to be my right hand man, that I want to be my guy. Read.
And Samuel said, How can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And Yahweh said, Take an heifer with thee, and say, I am come to sacrifice to Yahweh. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do. And thou shalt anoint unto me him, and thou shalt anoint unto me him whom I name unto thee. And Samuel did that which Yahweh spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceably? And he said, Peaceably. I am come to sacrifice unto Yahweh. Sanctify yourselves, and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons, and called them to the sacrifice.
Now let's see who the Almighty gonna handpick, who He loved and who He chose. Read.
And it came to pass, when they were come, that he looked on Eliab, and said, Surely Yahweh's anointed is before him. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him.
Almighty ain't studying him.
For Yahweh seeth not as man seeth.
The Almighty don't see like we do.
For man looketh on the outward appearance,
We looking on the outside of a person.
but Yahweh looketh on the heart.
Almighty looking inside here. That's right. Read.
Then Jesse called Abinadab, and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this.
Now He ain't chose him.
Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by. And he said, Neither hath Yahweh chosen this.
Almighty ain't studying that man either. Now these King David brothers now. Don't forget that these David brothers, he ain't studying them. Read.
Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel.
7 of them. Out of 7 of them, David is gonna be the one. Read.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, Yahweh have not chosen these.
He ain't chose none of these men. You got 7 sons, he ain't chose none of them. Read.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, Are here all thy children?
Is these all your children, man?
And he said, There remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep.
No, I got one that's young and he out there keeping the sheep, so they didn't left him out in the field because they just knew that the Almighty was gonna choose one of his other sons, but they ain't studying the little dude over there. Read.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, Send and fetch him.
Go get that one that ain't at the feast. Read.
For we will not sit down till he come
We
hither.
ain't gonna sit down till we see who this man is.
And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And Yahweh said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Ooh-wee. That's right. Read.
Then Samuel took the horn of oil, and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of Yahweh came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah.
Now, don't that prove that the Almighty loved David? Out of 7 of his sons, he chose David. He looked at his heart. He had a man just like his heart. So that let you know the Almighty loved David and Moses. And I ain't through with you yet. Come on. Let's go to Samuel 18 and 12. 1 Samuel 18 and 12.
1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 12. And Saul was afraid of David, because Yahweh was with him.
Yeah, now Yahweh was with David. Now show me what Yahweh was with Paul, Peter, Luke, John, or JC. Show me that. He ain't studying them. Read.
And was departed from Saul.
And departed from Saul. Okay, let's go to 1 Samuel 20 and 15. I'm still proving that the Almighty Yahweh loved Abraham, he loved Moses, and he loved King David. And wasn't studying nobody in the New Testament, period.
1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 15. But also thou shalt not cut off thy kindness from my house forever. No, not when Yahweh have cut off the enemies of David, every one from the face of the earth.
He cut off David enemies. Show me where he cut off JC enemies. They put him on the cross. His enemy put him on the cross, and he hollered out to the Almighty, and the Almighty ain't answered him yet. Read that again. I'm show you how he loved David. Nah. Talking about he ain't the Messiah. You got to be crazy if you think anybody else is the Messiah. He got a relationship with this man.
But
Read.
but also thou shalt not cut off thy kindness from my house forever.
That's right.
No, not when Yahweh hath cut off the enemies of David, every one from the face of the earth.
Everyone from the face of the earth. Okay, go to 2 Samuel 3 and 18. 2 Samuel. Chapter 3. Okay, yeah, 18. 3 and 18.
2 Samuel chapter 3 verse 18. Now then do it, for Yahweh hath spoken of David.
He's spoken of David. I mean, he's talking about David in the righteous way. Read.
Saying, by the hand of my servant David, I will save my people Israel out of the hand of the Philistines, and out of the hand of all their enemies.
Now show me where he did this with JC. Since y'all talking about JC the son, you got to go through him to get to the Father. It's all about him and this and that. You all a lie. Y'all keep lying. What I say? That's 3. Okay, go to 2 Samuel 5 and 19. 5 and 19.
2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 19. And David inquired of Yahweh, saying,
That's right, inquired of Yahweh.
shall I go up to the Philistines?
Now he asking Yahweh a question. Show me where Paul JC asked Yahweh anything. Read.
Wilt thou deliver them into my hand? And Yahweh said unto David,
He said unto David,
go up, for I will doubtless deliver the Philistines into thy
I'm
hand.
gonna deliver these people in your hand. Okay, that was 3 and 18. No,
Yeah.
what was it? Let's see.
3 and 19.
3 and 19. Hold on, I think I wanted 18 too. So. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go to 2 Samuel 7. 2 Samuel. Okay, yeah, 7 and 3. Start at the 3rd verse.
2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 3. And Nathan said to the king, go, do all that is in thine heart, for Yahweh is with thee.
Now Nathan is talking to King David. He told him to go. They tell him what? Read that 13. That's cold blooded.
And Nathan said to the king,
And the king is David.
go, do all that is in thine heart.
Go do everything that's in your heart.
For Yahweh is with thee.
Yahweh is with you, and he wasn't never with Paul, Peter, Luke, or John, or JC. He wasn't never with them. Read.
And it came to pass that night that the word of Yahweh came unto Nathan, saying, go and tell my servant David.
My servant David called David his servant. Never called JC his servant. Read.
Thus saith Yahweh, shalt thou build me a house for me to dwell in? Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle.
Almighty said, I walk in a tent and a tabernacle because they killed the church. He ain't studying no church. He said tent or tabernacle, not no church. Okay, go to 2 Samuel 22. Still talking about Yahweh loved David. Let's see, 22. Okay, 1 through 4.
2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 1. And David spake unto Yahweh.
All through the book, the Almighty got a conversation with David. All through the book, he got a conversation with Moses, talking to face and talking to him. Read.
The words of this song, and the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies.
Now, all his enemies.
And out of the hand of Saul.
And out of Saul's hand, right.
And he said, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer.
That's right.
The Elohim of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my Savior. Thou savest me from violence.
See, didn't nobody in the Old Testament trust in no JC? Did nobody in the Old Testament know him or trust in him or none of talking about he the Savior, he the Messiah? None of that. That's some junk. Read.
I will call on Yahweh,
He didn't say he gonna call up on no JC. He say he gonna call up on Yah.
who is worthy to be praised.
And he is worthy to be praised because the Almighty Yahweh did everything, created everything.
So shall I be saved from my enemies.
And that's the only reason why you're going to be saved from your enemy, because when you call up on Yah, when they call up on JC, you going to hell. He can't save you. Couldn't even save himself. So how he going to save you from anybody? And he couldn't even save himself from Pilate when they put him up on the cross. Y'all got to be crazy. Skip on down to 41. 22 verse 41.
Verse 41.
Yeah.
Thou hast also given me the necks of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me.
That hate me. That's right. Okay. Now let's go to 2 Samuel 23. Let's start at the first verse.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 1. Now these be the last words of David. David the son of Jesse said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the Elohim of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel, said, the Spirit of Yahweh spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. The Elohim of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of Elohim.
That's right.
And he shall be as the light of the morning, when the sun riseth, even a morning without clouds, as the tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain. Although my house be not so with Elohim, yet he hath made with me an everlasting covenant, order in all things, and sure. For this is all my salvation and all my desire, although he make it not to grow.
That's right. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to 2 Samuel 8 and 6. 2 Samuel, go back to 8. Yeah, 2 Samuel 8 and 6.
2 Samuel chapter 8 verse 6. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts, and Yahweh preserved David whithersoever he went.
He preserved David wherever he went. Preserved him, looked out for him, cuffed him. My man. He had a relationship with this man, David. Man, boy, that's whew. Okay, let's go to 1 Kings. 1 Kings 15. Yeah. 1 Kings 15 and 1.
1 Kings chapter 15 verse 1. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, reigned Abijam over Judah. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Maachah, the daughter of Abishalom. And he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him, and his heart was not perfect with Yahweh his Elohim, as the heart of David his father.
See, David, that's right. David had a perfect heart. According to Yah. According to Yah, he had a perfect heart.
Nevertheless, for David's sake, did Yahweh his Elohim give him a lamp in Jerusalem, to set up his son after him, and to establish Jerusalem, because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh.
See, he did what's right in the eyes of Yah. I ain't stunned with no man and no people talking about, oh, David committed adultery. He had a man killed. Yeah, look what you done did. Don't look at him. David said, this is my man. Regardless what he did, the Almighty still loved him. He still loved King David at the end of the day, whatever David did, because we all in sin. Everybody on this earth is sin. Everybody on this earth did something wrong. But the Almighty still handpicked his people. He handpicked them. And you want to look at David talking about what he did. Well, look what you done did. Shit, you work. The Almighty ain't studying you. Show me where he read about you in the book. Nah, how about that? Since y'all out there hating on David, he loved David. And show me where he wrote about you at. Where he loved you at. Shit, why you hating on David? Read that again. That 5th verse.
Because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh.
In Yahweh's eyes, he 100. Not in your eyes, not in the Christian eye, not in the the Muslims' eye, not in the Messianic eyes, but in Yahweh's eyes, he perfect. That's all that matters. Read.
And turn not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life.
Everything that Yahweh told David to do, he did it. So that what made him perfect. You ain't doing nothing that the Almighty wants you to do. How many of y'all keeping the commandments? David kept all the commandments. Y'all ain't keeping them. Y'all going to church and calling up on that monkey in the New Testament, which is JC. So you're going to go straight to hell. David going to be in the kingdom. You going to hell. Why? Because you believe in another God. David believed in only Yah. Y'all believe in everything but Yah. That's mean he was perfect. If you finish it.
Save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite.
See, except Uriah the Hittite. He talking about when he had that man Uriah the Hittite killed for Bathsheba, his wife. That's another subject. We ain't on that right now. I'm talking about David love. Yahweh loved David. What was that? First Kings. Let's see. The First King. Okay, let's go to Second Chronicle. My First Chronicle. No, I gotta go First Chronicle. Yeah. First Chronicles 18. Yeah, First Chronicles 18 and 13.
First Chronicles chapter 18 verse 13. And he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became David's servants. Thus Yahweh preserved David whithersoever he went.
He preserved David wherever he went. Show me where he preserved JC. He wasn't studying him and didn't know him. He preserved David. Love this man. Okay, let's go to Nehemiah. Nehemiah 12 and 24. Okay, Nehemiah chapter 12, verse 24.
Nehemiah chapter 12 verse 24. And the chief of the Levites, Hashabiah, Sherebiah, and Jeshua, the son of Kadmiel, with their brethren over against them, to praise and to give thanks, according to the commandment of David, the man of Elohim.
Called him the man of Elohim. David was the man of Yah. Read.
Ward over against ward.
Okay, now I done proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that that the Most High loved Moses, Abraham, and King David. Now let me show you. Let's go to the New Testament for a minute. Let me show y'all something. Let's go to St. John. Over in this New Testament for a minute. Show you this clown book. Let's see what the New Testament say about something. Okay. See what JC said. John chapter 6 verse 54. Hold on, is it St. John? Hold on, is it? Oh, I got Luke. No one. Okay, I'm in the wrong book. Okay, I gotta find St. John, which he ain't no saint. See, I don't know why they say St. John. Okay, 6 and 54. Start at the 54.
John chapter 6 verse 54. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life.
Now y'all know that's a lie. The Old Testament say you ain't supposed to eat no flesh and drink no blood. So we know that's a lie. Okay, read that again. I want that this all red words. Let me show them that these red words. Read it again.
Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life.
But that's a lie. Drink his blood. You ain't supposed to drink no blood. Go to Revelation. Now how can the Almighty know and love him and he talking about drinking his blood. And the Almighty ain't never, the Old Testament ain't never told you to drink nobody's blood. What I say, Revelation 16? Yeah, Revelation 16. Let's see what they say. Yeah, start at the 4th. Revelation 16 and 4.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 4. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and wast and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord God, all blank, true, and righteous are thy judgments.
Okay, so in other words, the New Testament say drink blood. Let's go see what the Old Testament say. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 3. How this book go with the New Testament? How the Old Testament go with the New? And it's a contradiction. Let me show you what a contradiction is. Okay, Leviticus 3. Leviticus chapter 3, verse 17.
Leviticus chapter 3, verse 17. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood.
Don't eat no fat or no blood. New Testament say drink blood. And this say don't eat no blood. Okay, go to Leviticus chapter 7. I'm showing you the contradictions. 7 and 26, I think, yeah.
Leviticus chapter 7, verse 26. Moreover, ye shall eat no manner of blood.
You ain't supposed to eat no manner of blood. The New Testament say you're supposed to drink it. And this Old Testament say you don't eat no manner of blood. Read.
Whether it be of fowl or of beast, in any of your dwellings.
Any of your dwelling. I don't care where it comes from. Blood is blood. You don't do that. Read.
Whatsoever soul it be that eateth any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
Right, read. Okay, that's it. But yeah, I'm just letting you know the Old Testament say don't eat, taste, or drink no blood, period. And get over in the New Testament, he talking about eat my flesh and drink my blood. Come on, man. Go ahead on with that. Okay, Leviticus 17 and 10. Bags up. Leviticus 7. Hold on. Yeah, 17. Not 7. Yeah, so we got to go 17. Yeah, Leviticus 17. Let's start at the 10 verse. 10 through 14. Yeah.
Leviticus chapter 17, verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood,
that eateth any manner of blood. I don't care if you're a Gentile, heathen, whatever you, if you dwell with the children of Israel, you don't do this. Read.
I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood,
I'm going to set my face against JC. That let you know he hated JC.
and will cut him off from among his people.
And I'm going to cut him off from among his people. Why? Because he ate blood. And JC said, you got to eat blood over there. So the Almighty hate him. Read.
For the life of the flesh is in the blood.
The life of flesh is in the blood. That's what keep you living, your blood.
And I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul.
That's
Therefore,
it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I wanted to just prove. Was it? Let me see. Oh no, keep reading. Yeah, keep reading.
for it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul.
Right.
Therefore I say unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood.
No soul of you should eat blood. So that shit. JC say eat it though. Read.
Neither shall any stranger that sojourn among you eat blood.
If there's a Gentile with you, he ain't got no business to eat no blood. If he stay in your house or dwelling with you in your land, he don't eat no blood either. Read.
And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunted and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof, and cover it with dust.
That's right. Pour the blood on the ground and cover it up with dirt. Don't eat it. Don't drink it. Read.
For it is the life of all flesh.
So blood is the life of all flesh.
The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I say unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh.
No manner of flesh. That kills JC. Because he say drink his blood and eat his flesh. Read.
For the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off.
Okay, whoever eat that going to hell, gonna be cut off. So if you believe in the New Testament, you going to hell and gonna be cut off because it just told you in over there in the New Testament to drink it. Mm. Okay, so I think that's gonna get it for today. Yeah, and I prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Almighty Yahweh loved Moses, Abraham, and King David. And I just showed you in the book that the Almighty say don't drink or eat no blood or no fat or no nothing. You get over into the New Testament, they say that's what you do, drink blood. Now you got to be a zip zap damn fool to believe in this book in the New Testament. Now, I want to give all honor and glory and praise the Yahweh by saying hallelujah, praise the mighty Yah, and that's it and that's all. And and I don't know what I'm gonna talk about next week, but it'll be something interesting though. But I wish y'all call me and let me know, so I could talk about some subjects, because I get like running, trying to find out what to talk about, and I'll be. So I wish, trying to find out what's going on, but I'm going to close out by giving all honor and glory to Yah by saying hallelujah, praise the mighty Yah. Shalom.